resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is The Week in Geek with David D. Squared and Brian Held. Heard live on News Talk 99.5 WRNO and the iHeartRadio app. Here are your hosts, Brian Held and D. Squared.
Greetings, people of Earth. This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D Squared, along with
Brian Held.
Brian Held. How are you, buckaroo?
Oh, I'm so wore out.
Oh, quit your bitching.
Oh, man. Well, we're just, trying to get prepared for the holidays and everything. It's going to be, it's right around the corner.
It is.
And
it is.
Speaking of right around the corner, next weekend, you and I are going to be at Contraflow.
Yay!
And we are the fan guest of honor.
I know, right?
Yeah, no, it's going to be very exciting.
We're going to be classing the joint up.
Yes, you have to moderate the costume contest.
Wait, why?
Because I said.
Why would you drop this on me now?
Oh, because it's fun this way.
I hate your face,
yes,
man.
I thought you liked surprises.
I don't.
So also, at the same time, on Saturday is the St. Tammany Collectors Con. If you're on the North Shore, you want to stop over there, get some comic books, and then maybe come on over and have some party time at Contraflow. It'd be great.
Party time, excellent.
Hey, man, Contraflow throws some mad parties on Saturday night.
That is probably the best part, man. Like the whole, it just smacks of the olden days with all the room parties, and they decorate and they get costumes and and the booze is flowing freely.
Oh yeah, for those old school fans from the New Orleans con scene, if you remember the Porno Patrol Halloween bash, it's very reminiscent of that.
Good times.
Yes. All right, you want to lay out the show?
All right, so we'll kick it all off with Top Nerd News, followed by a second segment of Top Nerd News with a little more movie angle, I guess we could say.
Sure.
And then we'll have our boy Skungy with his pick of the week. And then we'll wrap it all up with This Week in Geek History. Did I miss anything, Brian?
No, sir, you did not.
So let's do it. And now, your top nerd news stories from around the world, brought to you by the Viridian Tea Company. Find them on Etsy. And now, your top nerd news stories. All right, Brian, topping us off, it's a nice little way to segue into something big that's going to be happening on Tuesday. But Bob Iger is confirming that Star Wars movies are going to be on hiatus.
Oh, it's terrible news, Dave.
Really? I'm not convinced by that.
Oh, I'm sitting here.
Were you being sarcastic?
A little, and
Okay.
I'm wearing my 501st Legion jacket, and I'm just being a little sarcastic about it. Yeah, okay, sure. Let's. Honestly, I was thinking about it earlier. We had about 20 years between Return of the Jedi and Phantom Menace.
Correct.
And I think we need a break. Right, I think we could use a little bit of break from the cinematic experience of Star Wars.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, the only thing I don't agree with it is just that there are some things we still want to see, but I don't want to see more of, Ben Kenobi, the movie. I don't care. I mean, I don't even want to see... I don't want to see a Leia movie. I don't want to even see a Chewbacca movie. I mean... That might be sort of interesting, maybe.
Well,
kind of, sort of.
But, honestly, I think that if they're going to continue to do new movies, they need to either go way back, like Knights of the Old Republic, or move forward. They need to, get away from the Skywalker saga. There's more to the galaxy than just that.
True.
And, I don't know if you wanted to segue into it as fast, but I think that's what we're going to get with The Mandalorian.
Well, before we go there, though, like if they were to do more things like Rogue One, and it doesn't have to be something that dovetails directly into one of the movies, but if they do something that has all new characters with a little bit of a nod or a cameo sort of appearance, or just like an ancillary sort of thing, but have it make sense. Like Darth Vader pops up, because director Carrick, or whatever the hell his name was, is getting too big for his britches, and then they have the cool scene at the end. But, it was all new characters, though. So it was a different take on it. Not like that useless thing at the end of Solo where frickin' Darth Maul shows up for no inexplicable reason. But if they were to do movies like that, where it kind of expands the universe, spreads it out a little bit, I'd be fine with that. I think their ideas have gotten stale for the silver screen.
I think that they missed an opportunity, and I've said it before, with trying to have this homage to the old characters to close out.
Yeah.
I think we didn't need 3 movies to close out the Skywalker saga.
Well, interesting sidebar, Brian Held. The rise of Skywalker. We're seeing all these rumors pop up that Leia was supposed to be that final Skywalker, that she was supposed to start wielding a freaking lightsaber and become a total badass, but she died.
Okay.
And so I don't know how much fact there is to this rumor, but it sort of makes a bit of sense where, like, she would be the final Skywalker, of the lineage. And you've never seen Leia pick up a lightsaber. She's never really she did her magic I'm not going to die in space routine, which showed that her level of control or raw talent of the Force, maybe you could say, so that if she were to focus it, she'd be one bad mamma jamma. But unfortunately, with the way real life sometimes works, she passed before they could make this movie. So, that's just one of the rumors. I'm not, because we talked about it last week on last week's show. It's like, what the hell does it mean, the rise of Skywalker?
Right.
I don't know what it means. But maybe we'll get that answer in Disney Plus, like you were saying earlier with Disney Plus this Tuesday, Brian.
I know.
Disney Plus goes online, $6.99 a month, $69.99 for a year. And you know what? Take my money.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You're excited about making this purchase?
I am. I haven't been excited about much.
I just know you're notoriously cheap, so I'm very surprised.
Yes. Well, look, The Mandalorian alone. I mean, just The Mandalorian alone has me jazzed. And then you've got all these other great shows that are going to be coming out later on. They still got the Bucky and the Falcon and things like that. There's a whole bunch of Marvel. Yes.
I want to sidebar real quick because I saw something online and I didn't get a chance to dig into it further, but it basically was talking about with Disney Plus and all the new Marvel stuff, Loki and Cap and Winter Soldier and Falcon and all that Loki is going to lead into Doctor Strange 2.
Huh.
Right?
Okay.
And so sort of it was complaining a little bit that because the Disney Plus series are going to be interconnected with the movies, that you kind of need to consume all of it in order to understand what the hell's going on.
Oh.
Much like I have my whole theory on Star Wars that you need to consume all of Star Wars, books, novels, video games, everything in order to understand what's going on, which has, I mean, I'm going to watch it. Right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, we already know this.
Right.
But it still concerns me, especially for somebody coming into the fold new, right?
Yes.
If do you have to go watch 12 years of the MCU to understand?
Yeah, that's that could be a stumbling block. You know what? Well, it's interesting. You bringing up the whole Star Wars thing with books and everything. There's a bunch of new comics coming out by like IDW and things like that, and one of them is focused on Kylo Ren. And I was reading a little bit about it earlier today. That Kylo is, in essence, now that he's kind of taken over the First Order, that he's just like starting to become like a mass murderer, and like they're building up stuff with his character that I don't know how they're going to pay it off in the movie, or like the payoff may be in the movie, but it might not be as big of a payoff if you haven't read the comic books, because they're having him kill his own generals because they still haven't found the rebels yet, and he's killing his own generals for not being able to find people, and that he'll be, he's just ramping it up, that he'll be even worse than Darth Vader, that he's going to surpass maybe even Palpatine on the level of evil and, abuse of the dark side. And I'm just curious that if you haven't caught up or read a bunch of these comic books, if the movie can do that justice, or if they would have to at least somehow show you in the movie that he's becoming even more, just maniacal and evil.
Well, you bring up an excellent point, because what if, even worse, it comes off as disjointed,
yes,
right? Like because you have no context for what's happening, it'd be like watching Battlefield Earth, right? There was so much left out comparing the book to the movie.
Right.
There was so much left out that there were literally people walking out of theater going, I don't understand what I just saw.
Yeah.
Because they didn't, I mean, I read that book, so I knew where things were coming from, but if you don't have enough in context, it's going to be terrible, right?
And that's kind of the things I'm worried about, because a lot of times they do that. They've sort of done that in movies and Star Wars too, where it's just kind of like they assume that kind of deal.
Well, and I think that movies like Avengers Endgame, and the Avengers series are a bit of a payoff, right? As far as you are keeping up with everything, so this is your movie for you, right? Because I mean, I think if somebody walked into Endgame, they wouldn't know what the heck was going on, right? Without seeing everything else.
So it does make me a little bit nervous, but we've strayed off topic. But the Disney Plus comes out on Tuesday, and one of the things I was talking about this with my kid is that I'm happy that they're going to release them weekly. That they're not going to have these just drop all the Mandalorian stuff and then some jackhole binges it in one night and then is immediately on every social media platform spoiling it for everybody.
True.
If you've got a 24-hour notice where it's like, okay, the it's available now, to just stick off of Twitter and Facebook for 24 hours until you watch it. You can kind of avoid that. But it's almost impossible for most adults that have jobs and other responsibilities to carve out 10 hours of their time, Brian.
Well, and, I was kind of thinking about that the other day with the binge culture that we have does that destroy the sort of water cooler conversations?
It does. It absolutely does.
Because then, you're hanging out at the water cooler and you're like, I got to go back to my desk because I don't want to hear what you're about to tell me.
And that's the fun thing that I hated about when The Walking Dead just kind of wandered off, and they're not very good though. But with The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, I used to do those little Game of Thrones recaps in 60 seconds. Well, I would have loved to have done that for Stranger Things because, but it all drops at once. So the opportunity to kind of tap into that weekly zeitgeist that everybody is feeling and enjoying about a show, you have no idea where anybody else is at when they drop. When they all drop, you have no idea where somebody is. How do you control your conversation I'm only 3 episodes in? It's like, okay, well, I can't talk about who died in this episode because you're not there yet.
Well, I mean, instead of, doing whatever show in 60 seconds, you could do whatever show in 6.5 minutes. Right?
Oh, my God, huh? So, all right, well, let's move on. Disney Plus is coming out, and we're all excited, but...
Speaking of this is, of course, for our friend Kimberly Richardson over at the Verdian Tea Company.
I found this just for her.
She is a huge fan of Moon Knight, and, of course, they have gotten horror writer Jeremy Slater on board the project. So, I mean, man, he's got some good stuff, right? He did the Exorcist horror series on Fox. He also did Death Note on Netflix.
Death Note was a really good movie. He had a turd of one in there somewhere.
Well, there was the 2015 Fantastic Four.
Fant Four Stick?
Yes.
Yeah, the Fant Four Stick. Yeah, unfortunately, that's a...
and the Lazarus Effect.
Yeah.
So, and he was also on the Umbrella Academy, which...
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, you've seen it?
Yes.
Okay, I have. It's on my to-do list, so...
Yeah, I ended up binging that at one point, too.
Yeah.
So just because I wanted to watch it.
For those who may not know, Moon Knight essentially is Marvel's version of Batman, who is absolutely insane.
Yes. Yeah. Multiple personalities and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
But also, but he does have a little touch of the supernatural, though.
Yeah.
Some sort of, mind power. Sometimes if the moon is full, he gets a little stronger, et cetera, et cetera. This is something a lot of people have been... waiting for to see on there. This is the cool part about Disney Plus, though, is because for all the uber nerds out there that love some of these, Moon Knight is a very I don't want to say niche, but it's not a well-known brand. You know what I'm saying? But with Disney Plus, you can get some of those things.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's definitely probably a B-list character when it comes to the MCU.
So was Iron Man and Thor practically.
Well,
until they made a big movie screen, put it on the big screen.
Right. Yeah. Maybe that makes Moon Knight like C-list. Ooh.
Kim's gonna kick your ass.
Yeah, she is. But, we're all excited to see the Fist of Khonshu, the Egyptian lunar god of vengeance and justice, take the tiny silver screen.
All right, and finally, before we go to a break, so the CW has announced a bunch of the big finales, and of course, the big finale. The only reason I put this on here is because of Supernatural. It is going to be coming out and finally wrapping up 15 years, Brian, Monday, May 18th.
Really?
Well, and the weird part is they're moving it from Thursdays to Mondays after the New Year's break.
Okay.
So I guess that they've got some other shows they're trying to kind of, tease you to watch. So if they put Supernatural after their crappy new show that they want you to start watching,
True.
You might accidentally stumble on it and be like, oh, okay, I'll watch this now too.
Yeah.
But that's it. May 18th, it all ends, Brian. It all ends. I mean, they're filming the second half of the season right now. And then I'm going to go cry.
Yeah. There'll be nothing left to watch?
Nothing. There'll be nothing on anywhere. I won't have anything to watch anymore.
Well, I guess it's a good thing that you're getting Disney Plus. You have plenty to watch there.
Yes. All right. Movie time's coming up, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, are we going to break?
We are.
All right. Good deal. All right. Well, when we get back
music.
from these short commercial messages, more Top Nerd news. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Join us this fall at Contraflow, November 15th through the 17th, a science fiction convention featuring writers, artists, and entertainers from all over the country. Contraflow will have gaming, music, an art gallery, vendors, and more. This year's featured media guest is executive producer for DC's Swamp Thing, Mark Verheiden, and the featured author guest is Catherine Asaro, author of The Quantum Rose. Contraflow, November 15th through the 17th at the Airport Hilton in Kenner. For more information, check out their website at contraflowsci-fi.org or find them on Facebook.
Every child deserves a little Christmas. For 70 years, that's been the holiday battle cry of the Marine Corps Reserve Toys for Tots program. WRNO is asking you to help the Marines make the Christmas dreams of a less fortunate child come true. Sign up your business to become a drop site for Toys for Tots. Get involved and visit www.toysfortots.org to make your business a Toys for Tots drop site. Help the Marines fulfill the holiday dreams of a child that otherwise might be forgotten.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
My name is Optimus Prime, and you are listening to
Starscream here, and you are listening to The Week in Geek. Call me Lord.
Welcome back into The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D Squared, along with
Brian Held.
All right, Brian, let's talk some movies to round out the top nerd news segment.
All right.
First off, Spider-Man, the sequel is going to be 2022, so we'll get Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes, specifically Into the Spider-Verse, of course, the animated movie that came out, Academy Award winning, Dave.
Yes.
A
cartoon.
Yes, I know.
Cartoon.
Look, I loved it, man.
It was good.
It was fantastic. So, yeah, that's coming out, 2022, April 8th.
Well,
yes.
I didn't realize I actually picked a date. Look at them.
Yes.
All right, Joker.
Oh, yes, Joker is about to make $1 billion. That's with a B.
Not bad for an artsy-fartsy film.
I know. It's joining Aquaman, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises as billion-dollar winners at the box office.
It's so funny because, I mean, when you really think about it, I mean, it's not exactly a Batman movie. It's not really a comic book movie. I mean, it really is a descent into madness that, just happens to be a guy who, lives in Gotham.
Yeah.
And thought, Bruce Wayne or Thomas Wayne was his dad.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it continues to do well. And I don't know. It's kind of sad. I wish that DC wasn't so disjointed with their offerings. I mean, I'm glad it's doing well, though.
Ratsa-ruck.
Oh, geez.
All right, so Jumanji. Brian, you and I got to go see the advanced feature of when Jumanji first came out, and both quite pleasantly surprised with how it came out. So they're building on that success, Brian. So this new trailer, the final trailer for Jumanji, which is coming out soon, they've added Danny DeVito's in it.
Yeah.
And who's the old guy from Lethal Weapon? Oh my God. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Here is the new trailer for Jumanji: The Next Level.
Come on. I'm coming.
Grandpa Eddie?
Come on in. Did you guys see Spencer?
Who's that? I think he went back in. We gotta go get him.
You hear something? We haven't even picked our guys yet. Are we in Florida?
Oh my God.
Wait. We're in the wrong body! My joints feel like butter.
Oh, never. I feel loose myself.
This can't be happening! I came back and things actually got worse. What the hell is this? Would you look at me? I haven't looked like this since...
Never. You look like this never.
I think my eyes are a different color.
All of you is a different color.
We have to find Spencer and Bethany.
This next adventure is even more challenging. This time, not all of you will leave the game alive.
Bethany thought you might need some help.
Where is Bethany?
She's right here. She says, oh my God, like I'm a total horse.
Yep, that's Bethany.
Hey! We have some issues here.
The game is busted.
What happened?
Yes, I'm back. I missed you so much. Oh my God, you guys, hi.
Bethany?
You guys, we're back in Jumanji.
Oh my God!
Danny Glover is the name.
Danny Glover,
you were
yeah.
trying-
That's
so
it.
he's in it, and the original cast from the reboot.
So what tickles me is that, all right, so Danny Glover and Danny DeVito jump into The Rock's body, and they start talking different, and that's what tickles me about it is just Jack Black doing another voice, and then finally at the end he comes back, because that was the best part of Jumanji, when he was talking like a teenager. You're like, oh my God, we're back at Jumanji.
Well,
that was the best part of the movie to me.
It's interesting because, as you heard in the trailer, right, when Bethany occupies Jack Black's body, it's still Jack Black's voice,
right,
talking like a teenage girl. But when it's The Rock or Kevin Hart being occupied by Danny Glover or Danny DeVito,
right, they're talking.
It's their voices that are over it, and so it's weird. It's like, why did they do it for one and not the other? And
what do you mean?
Well, because
it's all their voices. It's not Danny Glover talking.
No, I'm pretty sure that's
no, that's not Danny Glover. That's because it's funny because it sounds kind of weird because they're trying to do like an old Jewish accent.
Oh, jeez.
So I mean that's all their voices. They didn't dub any of that stuff.
I swore Kevin Hart was dubbed with Danny DeVito's voice.
No, they made him sound like he was Jewish.
Okay.
I mean, well, he made himself sound like it. He was acting, Brian.
Oh, geez.
Acting.
Well, speaking of acting, it's a good way to get into the there's an opinion piece that you came across.
Yes.
Right? Where a movie production, Magic City Films did a movie, Vietnam War drama called Finding Jack, and they used the visage of James Dean.
James Dean, who died in 1955.
Yes.
So, I don't know. Is this some sort of weird parallels, kind of like alternate timeline where he survives and he goes to Vietnam, or is it just why James Dean in particular? I mean, that it doesn't really matter, honestly, to me.
Well, according to the production, right, and this was the director Anton Ernst said that they searched high and low for the perfect character to portray the role of Rogan, which is a supporting character, not a main character, and they felt that James Dean
was the only one with the range. I think that was what the word was. It was like he's the only one who could convey the range of emotions was James Dean. It's like
the quote extreme complex character arcs is what they said. And
dumbasses.
And then there's a sound-alike who provides the voice for James Dean. So what's strange is that you've got two actors now portraying one role.
Right.
And isn't there a James Dean look-alike out there that they could have gotten?
One of the people from Star Wars tweeted out that, hey, there's a James Dean look-alike festival every year where hundreds of people who look like James Dean and sound like James Dean show up. So
and there's a ton of folks who are outraged. Chris Evans is one of them. Elijah Wood, Zelda Williams, all like this is a travesty to do this. And
shut up. I don't care what the hell they think. They're dumb.
Well, but I can kind of see their point, right? I mean, the process of acting is difficult and it is a definite art. Right. And I think that if you're there's plenty of people out there who need acting work. There's plenty of people who are up to the task.
But dead people ain't gonna cut into their livelihood. This is not gonna be some sort of new trend. Like, oh my God, let's just let's motion cap everybody. That's not the case. I honestly, I think part of this with what these people are doing is a bit of just an attention grab, a ploy to be like, hey, look at us, look at what we're doing. But this will never become a thing. I mean, even George Lucas, who casted a lookalike for Moff Tarkin, and then in Rogue One, they cast another guy as a sort of stand-in lookalike with his voice, but also did the motion cap on him. Nobody's going to replace anybody. It's not like dead people are suddenly going to put living actors out of work. I think it's just a bunch of crybabies right now, honestly.
Well, I mean, I do think that there's a limited time span as to using a dead person's face, especially like James Dean. Like, what's the point? Right? He's been dead since 1955. Who's going to recognize him?
That's kind of my point, too, because it's like, why him? And I don't know. I don't even think I've ever watched a James Dean movie. Yeah. I really don't think I have. I mean, but needless to say, though, I don't think it's going to be something that's going to really just put anybody out of work. I think it's just
you and I had to worry too because Adobe is has all the voice effects where they could just copy people's voices.
Oh, nice! I like that. All right, do we have time for Bloodshot before we go to Skungy? Yes, we do. I don't care.
All right.
So Bloodshot. Vin Diesel. This is a new comic book movie, Brian. It is by Valiant. Comics.
Yes.
So it's something new from Hollywood, Brian. So here's the trailer.
We are leading the way in the greatest human advancement of all time. The technology running through his veins augments his strength, his reflexes, even his healing capabilities. He's unlike anything we've seen before, and he's entirely in our control.
Commencing memory fabrication. Next mission in 3, 2, 1.
And initiate sequence.
What happened? What am I doing here?
You got yourself killed. You have been given a second chance. You have an army inside you. We call them nanites. They rebuilt you.
Those are in my blood.
They are your blood.
Something doesn't feel right.
They've been manipulating you. What you think is real sometimes ain't.
I had a wife, and you took her from me. You turned me into a weapon, and now it's pointing at you.
One of the things that I really like about this is how they use the memory manipulation, and they have one little scene where it's his wife gets killed by some guy with a face.
Right.
But then the face starts changing because they just, whoever their target is, they make that the man who murdered his wife.
Interesting.
And then he goes after them. And you don't have to make any story. You don't have to be like, hey, so this guy is an evil dictator. You don't have to plead your case to him. It's like,
this guy killed your wife.
This guy killed your wife. He's like, on it.
Right.
I'm on it. And so I think I like that little twist on it, because then eventually, he'll, as you can hear and see from the trailer, but also you can hear that it's not all right, that he's probably getting, snippets of other memories going, okay, something is weird here.
So I was kind of amused at the beginning of the trailer. It's like, we've never done this before. This is, brand new. And I'm like, we can rebuild him stronger, faster, right? $6 million man, or, RoboCop, right? I mean,
Right.
It smacks a lot of RoboCop.
But they didn't have nanites. They said nanites.
They did say nanites.
Yeah.
Agreed. But yeah, you're right. Valiant Comics, who is it? Sony picked up the rights to this Valiant
and then
title.
there's like another guy who's fighting. The guy is the lead character in Outlander, who kind of has like a little Doc Ock look to him. He's got extra arms, so I guess he's like another sort of super soldier that's going to be fighting him.
Yes.
So,
Sam Hugan?
Yeah, whatever.
Yes. He's got robot arms.
Robot? Oh, I always wanted robot arms, Brian.
Yeah.
All right, we got to get out of here. Let's go talk with. Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, I just want to mention real quick, because you sent this article to me. There is a G4 TV and Attack of the Show Kickstarter for a documentary called Attack of the Doc that's coming out. Chris Gore, who was on the show, is putting that together. That looks super exciting.
Yeah, they're going to explain why it just went away.
Yeah, that's sad. I missed that show.
You will finally get the answers you so desperately sought, Brian.
It's about time.
Dang Skippy.
All right, guys, when we get back, our boy Skungy and his pick of the week. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
ProSe Productions is a leading independent publisher on the cutting edge of new pulp and genre fiction today. At ProSe Productions, you'll find fiction featuring fast-paced action and adventure, larger-than-life protagonists, over-the-top characters, and tight yet extravagant plots. ProSe specializes in prose books, anthologies, audiobooks, and more. Go to prose-press.com to find our monthly release schedule and more info about our great titles. ProSe Productions is your first-rate publisher of new pulp fiction today.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today. Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
Welcome back to The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. Like them on Facebook at The Week in Geek Radio Show. Here are your hosts, D Squared and Brian Held.
Welcome back into The Week in Geek. I'm your host, D Squared, along with
Brian Held.
All right, Brian Held. It is your favorite part of the show.
Woohoo!
I am not what you would call a handsome man.
Skungy's Pick of the Week is brought to you by GameStop and ThinkGeek.com.
Skungy's Pick of the Week.
He might be an idiot savant.
Woohoo!
Skungy, what's shaking, bacon?
Not a whole lot. You know what? Y'all were talking in the earlier segment about G4, and I gotta say, like, being part of, like, my setup, man, I used to love their entire channel, man. So if anybody can, man, follow that Kickstarter. I've met Kevin Pereira many a times. He is a funny man. Follow that Kickstarter, man.
Cool. Awesome. What are we talking about, Skungy?
We're talking about the Outer Worlds today.
Oh, man, I need to get in on this.
You woke Brian up. Good job, Skungy.
Oh, I know. It's about time. Look, all right, this game is amazing. All right, this is Obsidian Entertainment, who we've known for the past couple of years, where Brian Held knows that they're the people who made Fallout New Vegas, which I'm pretty sure is your favorite Fallout, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have a cosplay from Fallout New Vegas, you know?
Yeah, you have cosplay, you have T-shirts, you do it all the time.
Yes.
Now, New Vegas was a fantastic game. I really loved it. It took Fallout and it took the boring, hey, we're just going to, you know, go around the wastelands, and they kind of spice it up a little bit with humor and fun.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they did with that. They also are the people behind Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, which was so much fun. Now, it didn't have the story that the first one did. It didn't have that big revelation that the first one did, but the gameplay and the choices behind it were so much better than the first one.
Cool.
They also did South Park Stick of Truth, which is one of my favorite RPGs of the last 10 years.
Yeah, but you're easily entertained.
So, these guys are amazing in what they do.
All right.
So they decided to make this game Outer Worlds, which it's funny because Bethesda says, we're going to make Fallout 76, which is this big open world RPG where you have all these people playing against each other. And they're like, no, we're going to make a Fallout game that's not a Fallout game, but better.
Okay, and that's what Outer Worlds is?
Get.
Yeah, all right.
That is exactly what you get. This game is so much fun.
Is it Fallout in space?
The best way I can describe, yes, it is Fallout in space because you go to different planets. The best way to describe it is Fallout, but with a Firefly kicker.
Interesting.
So anybody who's a fan of Firefly will enjoy it because you get a crew of people and you go from planet to planet doing jobs, making money.
All right.
The only thing missing is shiny.
Yeah. Huh.
But this game is it's so lighthearted. It's funny. Like all the interactions that you do with different characters and everything is it seems organic. Now, when you play Fallout 4, which is the last Fallout game, that real Fallout game, I am not even saying that 76 even exists.
Okay.
The last Fallout game, a lot of the interactions seem very stoic. They seem like it's everything scripted. No matter what you do, we're going to go this direction.
Okay.
This one, everything seems organic. It seems like it's free flows. Like I sit there and I find myself wanting to hear all the interactions with the characters because it's generally entertaining, and which way you go with your character, be they funny or serious or whatever, it's all entertaining, no matter which way you go.
So, as I understand it, when you go to other planets, it's not like free roaming. It's sort of like you're kind of locked into a certain amount of space.
Yes and no. Okay, so you get these missions, but it does. I mean, I hate to say Fallout, but it does have a very Fallout feel because you talk to people and you get missions. And as you talk to more people, you get more missions, and it unlocks different places that you can go in that map. Now, it's not like Fallout where you have this one big map and you go wherever you want to in the map and there are different things. No, you're going to go to a planet, and that's a certain map.
Okay.
Now, as you get missions, you unlock missions in that map that you can go to in that certain area.
Okay.
But it encourages you to talk to people and get to know them and unlock different missions, so you have more to do in that area. Okay. You can do this game like a speed run. you can go and just do the main mission and be done. But you're missing out on a hell of an experience.
Now, let me ask you, when you're done, are you done? Or can you go back and check other stuff out?
Oh, you can check so much out. This is a first-person action RPG.
Okay.
So you can go back and play whatever you want. If you miss something, you can go back to that area and explore it, find different items, find different things. Now, it's better if you do it. I will say this. It is much better if you do it while you're doing the story, because it's kind of one of those things that as you play through the story, you're going to level up, you're going to do better with your character, you're going to get more benefits, which will help you out in the main story.
Right. No, the only reason I go ahead.
Straight through it.
The only reason I asked the question is really my only complaint about Fallout New Vegas is because when you get to the end of New Vegas, that's it. That's the absolute end, right? You can't go just run around willy-nilly in the wasteland.
Willy-nilly.
Well, and
no, you can go run around this entire, because it's a galaxy.
Okay.
So, like, there's a map that you get in. You have a ship that's called the Unreliable, which I think is the greatest name of a ship ever.
That's
right?
awesome.
And you get to go throughout this entire galaxy and go from planet to planet and go do things and meet people and everything like that. It's so open. It doesn't have like you have to do this. You can go around and you can be whoever you want, and it's so much fun. It's so much better. I mean, this is big. I feel that this is a middle finger to Fallout.
Really?
It really is. Because Fallout 76 came out and they said all this stuff, we're going to do this. And Obsidian said, yeah, we're going to do that, but we're going to do it better and have a sense of humor about it.
Well, I mean, they make solid games. We all know this.
They really do.
It is known.
Obsidian hasn't made a game that I haven't liked.
Right.
Even their lower rated games like there was a conspiracy game that they made years ago that was really low rated, but everybody still had a great time. Like, critics hated it, but fans loved it.
Cool. So they
make really good games.
So Outer Worlds, is it like a typical RPG type deal? You got like stats and you get skills over time and all that kind of stuff.
The best way I can describe it is taking the conversation of Fallout, like Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
And then putting the character level up of KOTOR 2, Knights of the Old Republic 2.
All right. Okay.
So you have the conversation where you're like, hey, which tree do you want to go with? I'm going to talk to you this way. I can use my persuade ability to make you do things or intimidate and whatnot. But you go to your character development and you have different levels that you can increase. You can increase their speech, or you can increase their range attack or their negotiation or whatever. You can increase these little areas whatsoever to customize your character perfectly for you. So if I'm playing the game, it's going to be completely different than how you play the game.
Right. So you mentioned one of the skills being like ranged attack. So is there a lot of combat in this game?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So like I said, it is a first-person shooter. That's the core of it. It's first-person shooter, but you can also do melee. So if you don't want to shoot, you can get like blades or clubs, and you can like put stats into your stealth and make it where you're not easily detected, and you can just go around like sneaking behind and hitting everybody upside the head with a club.
Is there like a VAT? Is there like a VAT system?
No, there's no VATs. It's nothing like VATs. VATs is completely out of it, and that's what I like about it, because everything is real time. Now they have this one ability that you can slow down time, but it's not like VATs where it's like, all right, I'm slowing down time and I'm going to use an action point to do his arm and his head and his leg. No, it just slows down time, and I'm just going to shoot him in the head 17 times.
Oh, okay. Well, I like that, though. I mean, yeah, that was one thing that I really loved about Fallout was just like, I'm old. My reflexes ain't what they used to be. Yeah. And that was one cool part where it's just like, okay, I'm getting mauled. You can just like pow, 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 just go all, Jedi on them.
That's how I kind of played it. I mean, sure, it might have been a little cheap the way that I played it, but I played it like, all right, I get into a fight with a bunch of people. I'm like, all right, I hit that slow-mo thing, and I'll take one guy and I'll shoot him in the head 5 times, and then I'll like run behind the corner and let that ability rebuild.
Yeah.
And then go back out.
That's
and
called
hit
tactics.
it again and hit somebody else.
Yeah.
That's called tactics.
All right.
Exactly.
See, Dave, if you just played on a PC, you could enable the console commands and just enable God mode, and then you're good.
Oh, because I'm a lame ass cheater like you.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just play the game the way it's meant to be played.
Right.
No, I have to
natural,
use
Mr. The Mod King.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. All right. Well, price and platforms, Skungy.
So it comes out. It's on PC, but it's also on Xbox One and PS4. It's $59.99. Now, there's no extra DLC or anything like that. There's no special edition or anything like that. If they have anything coming out extra, they haven't mentioned it yet.
Okay.
There might, because Obsidian has done that. They did it with New Vegas. They did it with the South Park game. But if there is, it's nothing that's exorbitantly expensive. It's really, it'll probably be like maybe $20 add-on.
Well, are a lot of people picking this title up from you, Skungy?
This game is, look, I'm loving this game. Everybody, I've sold out of it 3 times already since it's come out.
Jeez.
Wow.
It is a very, very fun game. It's, like I said, Fallout 76 was supposed to fill that void between Fallout 4 and whatever, and it didn't, and everybody was clamoring for a game like this. And Obsidian said, nope, we got the slack. I mean, even when we talked about it when they had E3, we're like, this is going to be the game that Fallout 76 should have been.
Right.
But there is no online. It's completely single player.
Well, that's cool.
So real quick, Skungy, like how much time does it take? Is it like a Fallout game where I have to like block out a couple of hours of my schedule to play the game?
Yeah, it's going to be one of those.
I mean, that's fine. I just kind of want to know what I'm getting myself into.
One of those long games. Look, I've played the game for probably about 20 hours. I'm going to say a good 20 hours, and I'm only on the 3rd area.
Dang.
Okay.
All right.
But like I've discussed this with you before, Dave, that I'm one of those game players that it's like, oh, look, here's a butterfly. Let me go over there. I need to go over here. They give you, here's your main mission. You need to go here. I'm like, fantastic. I need to go north. I'm going south because that's where something else is.
Yeah.
That's how I play them. But somebody else will play it, and they will play it, and they'll get it probably about, if you went straight through the story would be about 40 to 50 hours.
Yep.
Nice.
Which still is a great amount of time for playing a game.
All right, Skungy, we're going to see you next weekend at Contraflow, right?
Absolutely. I'm going to be there all weekend long running the gaming room, and I'm going to be sitting in for a couple of y'all doing like costume contest and a couple other panels throughout the weekend.
And we'll all be at the bar on Friday night.
Yes.
Yes, we will.
All right. Thank you very much, Skungy. We won't fire you this time.
You sure?
Yes.
Well, we need it for next week.
Oh, that's
I'll
right.
win.
Right. We do need you for next week. Don't get cocky. All right, get out of here before we change our mind.
All right, gang. Stay tuned. We'll close out the show as we always do with This Week in Geek History. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
You may be big and fat or uglier than sin. All the ladies shut you out. You're wondering how to get in.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you. Mata Hari, Agent H21, is a spy fiction short story anthology about the famous dancer, seductress, and spy from World War I. Mata Hari, Agent H21, published by Pro Se Productions, has 7 rip-roaring adventure tales about the world-famous super spy that features her battling her enemies by using any weapons at her disposal. Mata Hari, Agent H21 is available for purchase in ebook and paperback formats on Amazon.com.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Join us this fall at Contraflow November 15th through the 17th, a science fiction convention featuring writers, artists, and entertainers from all over the country. Contraflow will have gaming, music, an art gallery, vendors, and more. This year's featured media guest is executive producer for DC's Swamp Thing, Mark Verheiden, and the featured author guest is Catherine Asaro, author of The Quantum Rose. Contraflow November 15th through the 17th at the Airport Hilton in Kenner. For more information, check out their website at contraflowsci-fi.org or find them on Facebook.
Hello, creeps. It's me, John Kassir, the voice of the Crypt Keeper, and you're listening to The Week in Geek.
Welcome back into The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D Squared, along with
Brian Held.
Now, as always, I want to strongly urge you to check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Week in Geek. Check out our website at twigradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at Twig Radio, and the Instagram's The Week in Geek. Now, Brian, how can people listen to this lovely show?
Well, if you miss any part of tonight's show or you want to catch your favorite part again, you can always find us on Spreaker.com or download Spreaker for your smartphone or tablet. We're also on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, the iHeartRadio app,
and your mama's house.
This week in Geek History.
We're sending you back to the future!
Yes! Oh my God!
This Week in Geek History is brought to you by Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, read by Brian Held. Available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. This Week in Geek History.
Yes! Oh my God!
How long have we been doing this show, man?
I know. I just wanted to state
you were excited. I know, it's okay.
One item of note is we should be out of Facebook jail on Monday. Hopefully. I don't know if it's glitched out or whatever, but yeah, so that's if you follow our Facebook page, you know we post very prolifically.
And what cracks me up is that like we are very vigilant about not putting out and not safe for work stuff, that we don't put out vulgar stuff, that it's family friendly, even though I'm not.
Right.
But our Facebook page is.
Right, and we got popped for a post that violated the sexual content and nudity community standard. And
well, I told you not to post your.
Oh, stop! All right. First item on my list: November 4th, 1922.
There were Flapper Girls in 1922, Brian Held.
Yes. KV-62, also known as King Tut's tomb, is discovered in the Valley of Kings by Howard Carter.
Howard Cosell.
No, not that guy. All right.
My son learned about the Sphinx.
Yeah?
Yeah, my little guy, my 6-year-old.
Did he learn about the hidden compartment that's in there where all the alien technology is?
No, he did not, but I'm sure they'll get to that next week.
Yes. All right. Let's see if you can guess this next one. November 5th, 2004. And I'll give you a little hint.
Oh, thanks.
Starring the voice talent of Craig T. Nelson, Holly Hunter, Sarah Vaughn, Spencer Fox, Jason Lee, and Samuel L. Jackson.
I have no idea.
It's a good replacement for Fantastic Four.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Incredibles.
Oh, dang it. Yeah, the Holly Hunter one threw me.
Yeah.
Dang it.
No,
yeah, I forgot about Coach, too. I forgot his real name. That's what threw me. Dang it.
That's all good. All right, here's one you're going to hate.
Yeah.
On November 6th, 2000. The Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, or ICANN, approves 7 new domain names: .biz, .info, .name, .pro, .aero, .coop, and .museum.
Where's .gg? Where's .gg, Brian? I don't see it. I don't hear it.
Well, it was...
Because it's not real, and I knew it.
No, all of these are definitely real domain addresses.
We're live on the radio, and you're giving out all this false information. I mean, this is why we ended up in Facebook jail.
Look, it's not just .com, .org, and .net, Dave. There are more.
No, there's not. Dark web.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're not on .XXX because it's out there.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh, see, what? This is news people need to know.
Right. All right. November 7th, 1997. Oh, I'm not going to make you guess this movie. Directed by Paul Verhoeven and starring Casper Van Dien.
I just said Verhoeven.
Yes, Denise Richards, Jake Busey, and Neil Patrick Harris. Yes, Starship Troopers, which I love the movie, but, it just doesn't pay homage to the book. Read the book. It's awesome. All right. We're out of here?
Yeah, we're out of here.
All
we're
right.
at Contraflow this weekend. Come see us.
Absolutely. We'll be there all weekend. It's going to be a blast.
Till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
GFL.
NOLA's home for Fox News Radio and the Weather Channel. News Talk 99.5 WRNO FM, New Orleans. An iHeart radio station.